One of the key areas that was important to me in leading from afar, and really to keep all of the people engaged in meetings and conversations, was what I like to call a rhythm of contact, which was basically setting up an organized approach with each of the individual people I worked with, both locally and also around the world, on expectations of when we would meet. This could be as simple as how frequent I would actually physically be going to the countries. In many cases that would be once or twice a year, to all the way to the other extreme where there were certain days and time periods where there were emails and telephone conversations that the people in the markets knew that it was going to be a time that I would be calling them. So that set schedule, or rhythm as I like to call it, of contact became ingrained into the process. So it became a comfort level. Well, you know, this was Wednesday, and Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning was my time to speak with Brazil. Or it was Thursday afternoon at 6:30 in the afternoon, it was my time to visit with Japan. And so this is a system that I put in place that really helped when it came to working with my managers, particularly across the world, as many as 5,000–10,000 miles apart in time zones, quite frankly, as much as 12 hours difference. The last thing I'd like to share with you about leading from afar it's really an important point about building on this concept of setting a rhythm of contact, and not only the importance of adding value, and that is how to engage the team leaders into feeling like they're part of really a team, an organization, even though they're 5,000–10,000 miles apart. And so one of the ways that I used to do this, not only from my own personal meetings with them, but that was many times we would put together virtually meetings with all of the countries combined together. And so not only was it my responsibility to share best practices and share ideas with them so they felt like I was adding value to them, but also find times where the team leaders throughout the world could talk to other team leaders, and so they felt like they were really a team and an organization, so that when we did get together and meet as a group, they already knew each other from all their experiences. And we did this both from video teleconferencing through a system that Cisco uses, which is called video telepresence, sometimes to net meeting with telephone calls. We really moved it around to different kinds of ways of doing it. But the key idea here was a systematic approach where people in the countries felt like they were engaged with other members of the team in other parts of the country, and they were sharing their best practices and ideas. Again, when they started feeling like they were adding their own values to their own teammates, it really gave us a sense that we were a team. And this was another important part. And as you are building and thinking about leading from afar, the questions I would ask you is, what are you doing to add value to those organizations that you're leading from afar? But also, what are you doing to connect each other so they feel like they're a team and not an individual just in one market that really never gets to see anyone on a real-time basis? And I leave you with that importance, because connectivity is a key part. And when you know you can't do it on a one-on-one basis, on a regular frequency, then it's very important for you to find a way virtually to get people connected and feel like they are part of a team, and get them involved so that they have a responsibility to add value into those conversations as well as to get value. When you do that, leading from afar really becomes a joy to do, and best of luck to all of you as you work in that area.